forgot to put my binder on, and bleh. Um, as much as I don't mind actually showing off my chest on stream, I feel like because I haven't had my boobs taken. Well, actually, here's an interesting question, right? I've been on T. I've been on long enough that at a certain point, it won't matter if I still have the boobs or not because, like, yeah, at a certain point, I feel like that's an interesting question, and I do not want to test my ability to stream on Twitch with that question. But um, you know, I see a question because the exact definition of how nipples get censored or not censored or okay to show or not okay to show is a whole thing. Anyway, hi, welcome back. Sorry, the internet stalled. Um, hmm. And so we lost our stream for a little bit, but I'm back. If you want to come back, hopefully. Um, yeah. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do is if there are two VODs, I'm gonna use this VOD and not the VOD from the mini VOD from before. So hi, my name is Lee. Anything I said in that VOD, I repeat, and will be lost to history probably. Okay, it's trust me, there are entire streams. There's an entire episode of Rogue Trader that all of us agree happened, like we played it, but I cannot find the record of it anywhere. And yeah, I lost the. And I'm really usually pretty fastidious about getting those ones up on YouTube before they are off Twitch. So yeah. Um, yeah, hiccup in the internet, and we are going to do that. Okay, so uh, okay, um, um, okay, um, um, okay, um, um, yeah, um, okay, all right, okay, yeah, header images are annoying. Okay, I also need to do another thing. Okay, I need to have not waste so much time on superfluous things. Is what I need to do. Okay, um. I have my fingers in many pies, but today is editing the Greyhawk wiki, and I want to do at least a little bit of Greyhawk editing. We might, well, alright, starting one there. That's when the thing starts. So why don't we pull up my let's see, we're doing Edgefield and other stuff in the North Kingdom, right? So let me pull up the blah 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 this one, Ava the Undying. I'm pulling up Ava the Undying, everyone, and we're doing this. I don't know if how the PDFs are streamed. Um, Bah. Okay, hang on. Do I have the PDFs? I have it set up, so yes. Yeah, okay. That's the setup. This is David the Undying, by the way. In case you're watching. It is a book. You can get free copies because of the way it's been distributed, because, it was made, it was all set to go to print. They had everything, they had the layout-ish. They had all the stuff written. A bunch of the maps had been commissioned. And then Wizard of the Coast bought out TSR and everything. The project kind of stalled, and after some negotiation, they agreed to let, I think, one brave volunteer. There was one guy who did the layout, a fan who got paid a pittance, if at all, and Kit volunteered to do the map placement, and they put it together, made it look half decent, and they put it out as a PDF as kind of an agreement with Wizards that, yeah, okay, it's pretty much done. You can do that, and that's their plan of keeping your head alive. Anyway, so because of its kind of tumultuous history and getting made at the exact wrong time, um, it's canonicality. Is that a word? It is now. Canonicality is firmly yes, but it did not get um, put into the wiki. I think that's only part of it. I think there's other stuff that happened too. Oh, and right, last week there was. Oh yeah, this. There are two things with the same name, and Kit actually sorted that out. I'll show you what Kit did. But there's gonna be an ad break. So my plan is show you how the thing Kit did to show off stuff. We'll go back to the North Province page, and then we'll keep going on the towns and stuff there. Greenkeep, that's the one. I will show you Kit digs. I think it's kind of cool, and then we will go whatever's after Greenkeep. Let's and there's gonna be an ad in a minute. I am stalling for time a little bit because there's gonna be an ad in a minute, and essentially I'm gonna use the ad to get more water and take a stretch break, and I encourage you to do the same because hydrate or dihydrate, and then we will sit and we'll be back. And what was I gonna say? Gum does not provide the same um like mental stim as snacking on screen does. I'm sorry to say, but I also can't eat anything else because I probably shouldn't even have the tune wrap. So we'll do that. Let's go North Province, which is now which became North Kingdom, like very shortly after 585. It had seceded in 585, but they were still in that weird session of the weird part of when you secede. There's a period between when you're. Oh, I'll explain it in a minute. Let me stretch. I'll be back. If you're subbed, you can look at Addie and how cute she is. All right, let's do it. Maybe I'll do a little more stretching. Okay, welcome back. Apparently, eating enough vegetables and stretching occasionally is how you keep yourself young and healthy. So, bonus on that. Anti-aging. Look, if something calls something longevity, it's actually worth your time. If it's anti-aging, it's sexist bullshit. That's kind of the dichotomy I have learned. And there's just some person who said anti-aging. Well, people die young and they don't deserve time. Like, that's not what anti-aging means, and you're being. But you're completely missing the point. Anyway, point being yes. Um, the thesis was that humans are basically immortal if we didn't, I don't know, get out toxins in modern life, which is bullshit. People will die. Um, yeah, that is the only thing humans cannot cure is old age. Eventually, your body will give out. Just make it less time. I guess there's apparently a thing though. If you sit under the ocean, you reset your kilometers a little bit. So, I mean, in the far and distant capitalist dystopian future, which we are hopefully getting avoiding, if you go sit, rich people go pay and sit in these pressure chambers and live for ages. Or, in a more equitable pain future, they'll make them and they'll be available to anyone. Um, yeah, they'll be available to anyone who's relatively healthy who can just go and sit in the beta. I mean, there'll probably be access issues for enabled people. We can work on that. We can make them better and better as you go on because that's the future, isn't it? It's making things better and more accessible, and everyone, rising tide list, you know, mm, it's, I could give political philosophy about Karl Marx, why Karl Marx is an idiot, and because the problem of that and how people also misinterpret. Anyway, I am going to Greyhawk because our world is kind of sucks sometimes, and there's a lot of disagreement about it. And Greyhawk is cooler, so let's do Greyhawk. We're doing fun distraction Greyhawk stream today. Um, anyway, but yeah, deep sea. Early preliminary research suggests that sitting in deep sea can reset your kilometers. Oh, the main thing was though that um, water and stretching is good for you. Make sure you hydrate and stretch and eat vegetables, and that is what I have gathered the key to long life. Um, so, yeah, water is good stuff. Okay. Um, um, oh yeah, Grenell. Grace Grenell. Grace apparently being a title, like your Grace as in the king, which makes sense. I had not really heard it used that way, but okay. So this is how, one of these days, post GaryCon, I think. Here, that's what we're gonna say. First stream back from GaryCon, we're gonna do frickin' the capital of the North Kingdom, East Fair. We're gonna do the frickin' capital of East. We're gonna do East Fair. Um, but you know, because East Fair is an undertaking. But that's probably gonna take like the. It might take all of April. And oh, fun. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna set ourselves as a challenge with Greyhawk because I know the Greyhawk people. You know, the Greyhawk community is awesome, and um, hopefully, St. Jude fundraiser went well. I donated a little bit because you know that's the power of the Greyhawk community. I did throw a little bit of money toward it, and I tried to get people. If it just no one was on at the right moment for me to raid after I did mine because I felt bad doing a stream, but I did spread the link a little bit and yay. Um. Uh. Um. Okay. I before tomorrow morning, I have to move a. I have to do a thing for a different one. Um. Okay. So, but today is Greyhawk Day, and I like Greyhawk. Greyhawk is really cool. So there are some people who, okay, Darnagal, we did Darnagal, we did Edgefield, and the whole thing with that, and then we did Highlander, Castles, Greenkeep. Okay, so we figured out Greenkeep. Now we just have to. Oh, I want to show you what Kit did with Greenkeep. So, Greenkeep last time on Good Afternoon Greyhawk, we were doing Greenkeep, and what happened was I searched Greenkeep, and there was an entirely other thing with Greenkeep, and I was like, it's destroyed in the complete same way. And then I poked around, and oh no, that someone just was doing a search to try and find more information on Greenkeep, and was laser focused and didn't realize, oh, that was a different Greenkeep that got bombarded in 584, and so we changed that around, and then I was like, well, okay, let's put Greenkeep North Prov or Greenkeep Ruin or we put a specific I put it a specific way and then did a page on Greenkeep that was separate and then cross tagged them so if someone came into one they could learn oh the other one also exists and then get a link to that page to so they could see both. Kit did something cool with it. So I want to show you what Kit did because um Kit, by the way, if you don't know, is the coolest. She's the matron of the wiki, I think, is the term I've been using. Super cool. She's been doing Orth Journal for like a bajillion years. She did change her name, but same one, same woman, same person. She's just transitioned now. She's cool. Um, what else? Yeah, she's just awesome. Is the point, and yeah, and has done so much for the Greyhawk community. And oh yeah, A Kid's awesome. B, we were talking about it, and I was like, well, here's how I'm gonna do it now. So because she's kind of head editor of the wiki, so we've worked together a lot on stuff. Um, we work together. And she comes and says hi on stream sometimes too, which is helpful because let's see. Right, I need to go wiki. Hopefully the wiki, they've had so many problems with bots, but she's also she actually understands how to fix these things. Okay, so if I did Greenkeep, see, look, we have Greenkeep North Kingdom, Greenkeep Fort. Oh, okay. Greenkeep North Kingdom. Greenkeep North Kingdom redirected. I made Greenkeep North Kingdom as a placeholder. It's like, okay, just to explain what uh as sort of like a here's this to differentiate from the other article is just Greenkeep. So um and Greenkeep Fortification, and she just redirected it, which works wonders. So this one she's put it as specified as Greenkeep Fortification, and then forwarded need a redirect to Greenkeep North Kingdom. So if it's like, wait, Fortification, hang on, it's one in North Kingdom. Then they click on that one when they're searching for it, and then it will redirect to here. And then um, this article is about, oh, and yeah, she did like the fancy one, the the fancy, the reformatted that. I'd put it in a sentence form in the first part, but that's actually the correct format. I didn't think of that, but yeah. But see how it says here, Greenkeep, Defenders of Greenkeep, um, and then Greenkeep Fortification, and then hang on, let me check something else when we do search is Greenkeep Realm redirects. Yeah, Green needs Defenders to Greenkeep North Kingdom redirects to Greenkeep Fortification. So if someone's like, wait, that's the Realm one, it's when you're searching Greenkeep and you kind of know what you're looking for that you can check them. It's so Defenders to Greenkeep, but we are yeah. So that's how Kit set up, which I think works very well. Um, let's see, it's a stub. I think we're okay on disambiguation page. Oh, and there's a um. Okay, disambiguation page. Okay, and right. So if you link, okay, um, which beautiful. Okay, I don't know how to get rid of that one, but it's fair that Um, so if we have anything, if anything, it's just keep an eye out for things that say Greenkeep and link to um this one or link to the wrong Greenkeep. Okay, so just keep an eye on any links named Greenkeep for now. I think that's it. Okay, it says stub, but I think we're pretty solid on it. Let's see what we got. Uh, Castle North Province, Great Kingdom on the banks of the Tesser Torrent. Um, Fast moving river. Yes, that's beautiful. Okay. Highlander Castles, which we were going to do a page on because there's a whole thing in the book on that, so we're going to do that page, so we can leave that link there. Land defense along the north end of the river between Belport and Ural. The keep was destroyed. The rest became known for hunting during glow during periods of dark cold and the soulless screams which can be heard at night. Okay, Sunzeb. Right at the end of the Greyhawk Wars, the castle was destroyed when in Sunzeb, pouring Esserin, and the keep is completely ruined. Oh, that's the historical prison that Kit was talking about. Okay. I'm not. So, okay. Mary walls and towers shattered, all but a handful of the garrison is slain, only for making it to safety. Keep, prior to destruction, is commanded by Raspalan, a minor Gareth prince before the Gareth commander. Flees his home near Rinloru after committing a number of murders, and continues fleeing elsewhere. He goes for the same reason. From elsewhere. Okay, that is a really awkward sentence. We are fixing that. Uh, we're gonna go here. Retreat. Okay. Elsewhere from everywhere else he goes. Yes. Elsewhere he goes. Um, I feel like everywhere else he goes, just it, elsewhere he goes, it just rubs him the wrong way. It's not a, it's a um yeah. Okay, and it's a minor edit. You know. Okay. Um, there we go. Yeah, because he kept he. It wasn't just one other place. Yeah. Because he flew Fred from multiple places, as rumors of his being a necromancer and the murders caught up with him. He did a lot of fleeing to places, I think. That better reflects that. Okay, so there's that. Is there any other in Greenkeep? You might keep it as a stub because it's pretty light article, but let's see. Um, sensed the powerful magical strike. A boiling black cloud settled the sky above Green Keep, and vast strokes of lightning and acid rain cascaded down the building. The walls and towers were shattered, and Keep ruined, with most of the garrison here slain, and only a few managing to escape westward to safety. It's unknown who mounted the formidable attack. The most often rumored theory connects the attack with Necromancer. Um, oh, right. Whoever attacked him was um, with the troops here. Okay, so the rumor is connected to Rasplan, but that's not um and no other few other eastern and southern cities during his lifetime. He fled a lot of places. Trail of murder, outrage, and bitter enemies. To do to one of those enemies catching up to him. Um, uh, we can put that in the rumors and legends section, I guess. Takes the name from the radiant green glow, which eliminates exceptionally cold nights, cold and dark. Mumbled about moving stones, kept swelling and contracting before their eyes, and blood-freezing screams. Okay, yes. Probably just a hallucination. Nonetheless, survivors are rumored to speak with horror wrestling, experience keep dungeon, and tell tales of wretched and strange supplies, which are ferried down to the dungeon table, grisly wizard to malign research. Okay, yeah, he was doing sketchy experiments. Everyone's, there were people who said he was doing sketchy experiments. That's what the survivors claim. Yeah, that goes in. Okay, yes. And so I think the only thing here that's not also represented on the page, um, um, uh, um, 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 uh, okay. I think the odd visual, um, hallucinations. Yes. So, um, um, speculated. All right, we'll go with this. We'll keep the tense. That I'm iffy on historical present, but if the whole article is historical present, Kid obviously put it in there when coming back and they did it. I'll respect her decision to do that. And I will keep with it. Speculated that. What was I gonna say? Um, by one of the enemies that made um um but exactly who that enemy would be is unknown. Yes. Um. Yeah. 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 He made an enemy. Raspalan. Yeah. As opposed to destroyed because it was part of the defensive structure. Yeah, because the fact that it was his that was targeted and not any of the others in the structure highly suggests, but no one knows exactly who and what their motives were. Everyone kind of says it's because Rathblan's a sketchy necromancer who did terrible experiments in his basement, but there's no real proof, and he's dead now. So yeah, that goes in the rumors and legend section. Okay, so we got that one going. Um, um, yes. Okay, I need uh, okay, I destroyed it. I think Um, 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 you know what? Yeah. Um, um, yeah, I think that's interesting. Let's add it. Those who, um, um, okay, that I think what we can do is I think we can cite um, yeah, let's do this. We can put one more citation in, and I will do it. I mean, Kate does it. No, I feel like because I'm being good. Ivid. It's a style thing. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and those visit runes also, and that is the same page because it's got one. Okay. I think that's good. Just a little extra. I think that's kind of an interesting detail. Um, 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 okay. And then that's the disambiguation of, hey, also, there's the other thing that's just, yeah. Oh, the disambiguation is, there's another page with, there's another thing with a similar name, and just make sure you're looking at the right green keep. Okay, which I think is fair. And it goes, under rumors and legends is a fine place to put it. Let's see. Yeah, because we'll see how, let's see. Um, phenomenon. Um, auditory. Nice. Auditory. Yeah. This is the modern of. Can you spell it well enough that the spell checker can figure out what you mean? Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's do that. And then. Okay. And we start both. Rumors and legends. Um, disambiguation. We go. Yeah. Put it up right between between references and rumors and legends seems a good place to put it. So we can leave it there. Citations. Oh. All right. We should find Bellport. Here we go. Um, so edit source. You should put a proper bibliography for Carl Sargent. This one. Um, that is the if you have now. Granted, the best way to oops, cancel. All right, we didn't actually change anything. So green keep kingdom, which bumps us to here, and we go yeah. Um, huh, um, okay. Disambiguation page. Okay, well this isn't. Hang on, this isn't a disambiguation page. It's a um. Okay, this isn't a disambiguation page. It's a um um This isn't a disambiguation page, though. This is the actual page for the thing. Okay, hang on. I think what we can do. Let's put the. And I think what we can do. Right. So the. No. The bibliographies go above the index. So that's the other thing is if you're accidentally copy and paste it, make sure you don't. Oh, hang on. No. Equal sign. 3 equal signs for each. Okay. That's the other thing is if you copy and paste it and it's the last one in the page you're pasting it from, because copy and paste it just means you copy the exact format. When you do citations, there's a whole method to citation where you have to do the exact thing. So if someone else has already put it in the right order and everything, it's easy enough just to copy it. I had to write one citation for this, and because I used a different printing of the book than the citation that's floating around on ours. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna cite the actual copy I used, the 2004 reprint that I was gifted by Lord Zimba. And it was a penny thing, but I thought it was important because it is a reprint. But that's the only time I ever had to write one of these. Writing bibliographies is fun. Fun fact: don't use an LLM. There are 1,000 actual specific tools that teach that you can just put it in and it will put it in the right format that are coded for that specifically, and therefore will give you better results than just using whatever LLM. That's the thing, because that's the other thing about LLMs is I could go on a rant about them and how they do things, but one thing I do know is that for everything other than faking essays, which you really shouldn't be doing anyway, but for anything like, oh, can you put this in ML format, or there's almost certainly, or can you make me sound deeper, or there's almost certainly a specific software or program that you can find and use that will give you the same results and will be better because it's specific tools will give you better results than general ones, and LM is just a general all-purpose. Yeah, it is. You get better results with specific tools, and LMs are do have all sorts of issues with stealing stuff from things. That's why we have to keep scrapers off the freaking thing, and it's not even just we don't want people to take the writing people like me and not credit that it came from the wiki that we've poured our heart and souls into, but also they kind of ruin the wiki because if there are too many MLLs, LLM scraping bots, nobody can use the wiki. That's why they have to go through the verification process, because there were too many scraping bots and no one could use the wiki because it ruined the bandwidth and there was not enough. The server couldn't handle it. So people who wanted to learn about Greyhawk or help edit couldn't do it because the stupid bots were. Anyway, rant aside. Point being, yes, find a specialized program if you want to do the properly cited bibliographies. Find a specific program because I guarantee you it'll get better results. Because I know a lot of people use it for that and use like ChatGPT. I'm like, just find an actual bibliography program. I promise you it'll work great. Okay. Added source. Okay. Um, I think what we could do. Um, um, yeah. What if we did? I think what we need to do with that is this is not a disambiguation page, and I think we need to do that. So what we're gonna do is take this disambig. Where is it? This one. Um, Beautiful. Okay, this isn't a disambiguation page. What it is um okay. What we're gonna do is I think what we can do with that is we're gonna do yeah. So there we go. So okay, so yeah, exactly. And this is a disambiguation page. That goes here, but that doesn't go on the actual this page for the. I'm almost certain, right? Because that would mean um I'm gonna I'll ping Kid and tell her this, or but if she sees it, she can do that. But I think that is yeah. I'm gonna make that call. That this is because it already has this also has shares the name with this, so which is I think Let me check something like that. Defenders Green Keep, Realm of the Bandit Kingdom. Does it have? No, it doesn't have. Yeah, so if um, um, right, and they took the yeah, and they took out With the Undying from the Defenders of Greenkeep because we took out everything that was in Greenkeep that came from the If the Undying because that was a different Greenkeep and it happened to a different Greenkeep. Right. And there was some confusion about that, but we fixed that. Okay, so alright, so Greenkeep is good. The fortification, Greenkeep fortification page is solid, properly cited. And this ambiguation page links both. We're good. We have it all set. Okay, we're moving from Greenkeep. Yay. Okay, Highlander Castles. So that's our next step is Highlander Castles, and we set of 5 with an additional tower populated by combat mages. Um, um, okay, so there's 5 castles and a tower. There were originally 6, and then Greenkeep got smushed. Probably because of Rastalan, although no one knows for sure why. But he's doing sketchy necromantic experiments. Pretty sure everyone's pretty sure he was doing that. So, yeah. So 5. That originally 6 was Greenkeep. Okay. Um, Neural and the Western lands to the humanoids. Their attempts to besiege these castles came to naught. Military was originally known for, as the Imperial Highlanders, since many were well-trained hillsmen, used the skirmishes in the Blemla Hills and the Rakersmen. Okay. They are tough, strong, exceptionally disciplined men. Okay, so was originally known as Imperial Highlanders. The military force was, was originally known to them. They still call themselves, but now they obey the dictates no ruler other than the one they have chosen. They have, in fact, seceded from North Province. Oh, okay. Sworn oath of allegiance to the Baron General Shelster. Right. Okay. I remember. This is, they were talking about Shelster earlier, and the issue is that, um, who was it? Not Greenkeep. What was it just north of Greenkeep? What was the other one? Was, Edgefield, right. Um, so they, I was going to let the leader in Edgefield, we were just talking about him. Um, 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 Hastern. Yeah, Hastern. Yeah, and they're drifting away to Hastern. They're defecting to Hastern. Okay. We might go back and mention that they're defected specifically to this guy, Imperial. Okay, so Highland Castles, run by Baron General Jaster and seceded from North Province. He commands base from the southernmost castle. Powerful of the house, Garisteth. Mocked for being overlarge and unsuited to arcane pursuits favored by the house. Extracts a strong youth in exchange his landholdings for those of a Torcan noble east of Neural across the Tessar. So we swapped land with a Torcan prince. Now effectively controls all land in a strip 50 or so miles east from the castles. Gained the backing of Imperial Highlanders for several reasons. First, he's a war hero who has fought alongside them. Second, the Highlanders are stubborn, proud men who don't like being led by priests. Hastern is big on the priests of um, not Ivid. What? Who's Ivid's the priest? Um, I am misremembering the deity. Nerul. That's it. Granted, Ivid also worships Balzi, who is the um form of the deity Belzephon, who is used him in the Balzi when they worshipped as the false god Balzi, but uses her as a demon, demon. She's a demon. So it's an interesting dichotomy. I happen to notice things like this, being gender freak, as you can see by the flag. Actually, 2 flags. Both of them are variants of various non-binary entities. I have 2 flags. Neither of them is the rainbow or the trans flag, which I like, but these 2 are more personal to me, I find. But you know. Um, Also, the freaking demi fluid flag is just really pretty, and it is one of my favorite. It's aesthetically pleasing, and it makes me happy. So, what was I going to say? Um, but I also you can buy. I found out. Oh, you can buy gender queer flags, which is this one. I found it and in person. Not even like a event at like a con where they have people who say pride flags because it's people who go to sci-fi conventions and people who are not straight and cis. It's a huge overlap, and um, the cons tend to embrace that because people who go to cons who are straight and cis are chill like okay yeah fine we'll are generally if not super enthusiastic then at very least like ambivalent because you can sit at the table anyway. I don't necessarily care that you're gay. If you want to come sit at the table, it's fine. Which I is a great attitude and I love to see it. But yeah, because even like the oldest school gamers have pretty much kind of come to the conclusion that yeah okay they don't get it but it's fine, they're not hurting anyway and they're enthusiastic, we can live with them in our spaces, which good attitude, I like it. um what was I gonna say? Yeah. um um Coexistence is good. What was I gonna say? Oh right, so I happened to notice that Ballsy has that kind of edge of huh, goes by different pronouns on different roles. Oh, but right. So before Avid the Undying started watching Ballsy, started the worship of Ballsy as the official religion, the entire Great Kingdom was Nerul worshipping. In fact, I think if it was a priest of Hextor. No, it was Hextor. Hextor, not Nerul. There are priests of Nerul around, but Hextor was the big one that Hastern is big on because it's a priest of Hextor. Right, I'm mixing up my evil deities. The Hextor, yeah, and I think Ivid trained as a priest of Hextor for a while. Interestingly, um, 576 is the earliest. Um, right, I had this argument with Kid about why 576 is cited as the beginning of that when it almost certainly began earlier, but that's when it was first. That's when we have the first source in the canon saying it started at least here because we have sources in the canon that said it was going on at this point. 576 isn't just a random year; it's the year that described in one of the Greyhawk source books, and so that was why that year. And I think we agreed on wording that kind of made that clear that it probably started earlier, but 576 is the first. I think we hashed out a way of putting it that made sense. Um, but I remember we had a whole Kate and I had a debate about that, and um, um, right, okay, Gee, okay. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because because I have day job. I have to be there an hour early today. Um, uh, for not even an hour and a half early actually. Actually, I don't even know if it's an hour and a half early, but I have to take the same bus either way, and it leaves an hour earlier than I usually leave. So, um, one way or the other. But that means that I have to cut the stream short. Usually, I cut off the stream a little after 3 my time, and then um, yeah, um, a little before, a little after, depending on when I start and how things are, where we are along, and then I usually have a nap and get some prep work and stuff, and get myself like mentally ready and then head out. But at 4, but because of this, I have to end it. I have to end it before 3 because I have to be on. The bus will come at 3:03, and I have to be out of the house by 2:55 if I want to make that bus. I mean, I could go out a little later and hustle, but if it comes slightly early, I don't want to risk. Anyway, point being, I'm wasting time. Point being, we're gonna end very strictly and not a little. I usually end around 3 anyway, but I tend to be a little floppy. We'll go a little late. Got to be really going on today, which is why I tried to start super like tried to be good about starting on time. Didn't do great, but you know, um, hypothetically, I start at 1:30. Usually, it's closer to 2, but I'm okay. Highlander capitals, right? Sorry, I am getting everyone off track. The Imperial Highlanders don't like being ruled by priests. Priest of Hextor. That's why I wanted to point that out because it's the Cathedral of Hextor that's in um um yeah, it's the Cathedral of Hextor is in Edgefield. Okay. Okay. So yeah, he doesn't actively oppose Grendel. He's just you know he's not trying to subvert the Herzog. Pays taxes and tithes as he did post war. This is just when the Greyhawk went. Okay. Um, Um. Okay. Yeah. So he doesn't actually oppose Grenell as such. He's just not operating under Hastern's control, who's and therefore he's beefing with Hastern, but he doesn't actually. Yeah, he's yeah, Imperial. Oh, because North Province officially seceded from Imperial, so they're kind of in a weird place where he's taken over and um seceded from. It's like seceding from the state, but not the country. Yeah, it's like ignoring the county you're in, ignoring county policies, but say claim you still be part of the state. Like, okay, it's dicey. That's his goal. Obviously, Hastern has a different view of it. But he's still paying taxes. Oh, because he hates humanoids, and Hastern is working with several different groups of orcs who, um, and Shaster will not. Shaster, is that him? Hang on, this guy. Oh shoot, I am not showing you this. Sorry, that's Defenders of the Greenkeep. That is a completely irrelevant page. Not irrelevant, but okay. Sorry, this is the one I'm talking about. The Highlander Castles. It's um actually Defenders. If we go here, we can do um fortification. Highlander Castles is here as one of the things we're putting together. So I am babbling. This is Highlander. This is the Evade the Undying book I was talking about earlier. Um, Uh, and if you are well usual on my stream, you are probably acutely aware that I do get off topic very easily. In fact, I have a but I'm trying to actually get a little bit of stuff on this. So we're gonna by the end of the stream, which is in the next 10 minutes, I will have a placekeeper page that kind of gives the basic details of the Highlander castles. I promise you this. And then next week we can actually do something with this. So Highlander castles. Let me keep going with it. Okay, so Shallister. Okay. And the Shallister have a, let's see, personalities. We've got, House of Torcan, um, uh, Elgirst, Grenell, Hastern, Patrick Haldern, okay. Markand, um, Paladin, he's on this list, right? Um, Marshal of North Province, Baron General Challister. Yep, okay. Um, okay, so let us see. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put Highlander Castle as a location. We're going to do a location article, um, and then we'll fill in some of the box details. It's in North Province, and then we'll put that, and we'll make sure to leave the stub at the top so we all know it's a stub, and then we need to go back to it. And then hope that Kit doesn't cleaning up doesn't take away the categories. But if she does, then we can add them back as needed. You can add categories back. I do like to leave them certain ones as like structure because if someone has information they want to put. Um, Personally, I like to leave a few. There's a few that are just you take them out as you develop the page and you realize you don't need them. If you're halfway through the develop page, you leave them so you know to go back to them. But generally, it's considered clean, kind of uncouth to have too many extra unused categories. So cleaning them up is considered, a good idea to do. But they can be added back later. So if someone, there's another source book that talks about the Highlander castles. I don't know if like they mentioned in Greyhawk City box set. And someone has information on them that isn't in this book but is in another source. They can go back and add it in. And you can't always put categories. So um, let's see. And with the way the templates work is they give you a bunch of categories just to help you know what you might want to add and how to organize. And then you just take out ones you don't need and add if you do. Very rarely find you need to add them. There's a few that are like, actually, yes, this should have. This doesn't really fit in any of the categories, but it could put one here and it would work. But yeah, I rarely add categories that aren't in the big list, but do often take them out because it is thorough and those templates are great. I don't know who developed them, but they are great. Okay, so right, focus everyone. Okay, so Imperial Highlanders um, developed this castle system, and they are under the control of Shelster, who swapped land with another noble to be near there to kind of take them over, because he didn't. Um, Health Gareth is mostly mages, and they were like kind of mocked him as the oddball cousin because he couldn't. He was big and strong and could do mage stuff, and he was a war hero and did well for himself apparently. And they are swear that they didn't actually mutiny, but mm, um, I know Hastern is beefing with Jalster because he said so in the other section. Okay. Um, and they, oh yeah, they really don't like um, humanoids like orcs, which is why Hastern working with orcs is a problem for them. Okay. Um, so the Highlanders. Oh, Shalster and the Highlanders both do. With orcs under the command of priests during the war with Nyrond, the Highlander leaders despise every second of it, and they're delighted in the new leader. That's why they like him. Okay. Patrol the full length of the roads along castles. Keep, although there's no, a long gap eastward to Greenkeep and beyond. Um, and they're expecting to cross that region. Oh, they're crossing around Greenkeep because Greenkeep was destroyed. Yep. Okay. Um, Orcs to the west, back of the Tesser. This has gained him the support of local farming folk and local landholders as far as Stringent. Okay, Stringent. Stringent. And, oh, and Hastron is sending his orcs as marching forces because his theory is, well, if I actually control the land, it's mine anyway. I'm not going to bother with treaties and shit. I'm just going to. Okay. We talked about that in the other one. Okay. Okay. I'm starting to get a picture of this. Okay. Even raiding to the Blemu Hills across the river, and aided by magical scrying from a fine, very bright young diviner in Shalstead retinue and trained wyverns, Bright Young Diviner. I wonder if this Bright Young Diviner has a name, because he's certainly not in that list of almost certainly, but that would go under other people. Okay. Um. Okay. Um. Oh, they have trained wyverns. Um. Shallister and 3 of the Highlander senior officers ride trained wyverns. Okay, that's kind of cool. Um. Um. Besieged by orcs and ogres. From the Ripper mines. Okay. Um. And dwarves joined his forces and provided him with expert knowledge of the Western Hills, because they were fighting a bunch of ogres, and the Imperial Highlanders helped him out. Okay. I wonder where the Ripper Mines are. We might need to figure that on a map for now. Mages are known to have visited the rulers of Atir, Keport Bay, and most possibly the North Province for negotiations. These rulers do not favor Gunnel's dealings with the Bone March. Um, are too dispersed to provide much in the way of mutual help, but new alliances may be germinating. Okay. All of this may be war. For all that he may be a war hero and a warder off of Warwick, Shelster is hardly a pleasant individual. He's powerfully lawful evil, as any of the serfs on his land could inform any visitor. Cruel, flint-hardened, and viciously opposed to all good aligned priesthoods and individuals. He also doesn't like orcs. There's no rule saying you can't hate multiple groups of people. Yeah. Could make a crueler and more wicked ruler of North Province than Grenell. Okay, good to know. So yes, he doesn't. He just likes orcs and is struggling. He's working diligently to keep land safe from them. He's also an asshole who also is bad news. To just because one asshole takes out another asshole doesn't mean the first asshole isn't wrong. There are a lot of cases that I could talk about in our contemporary history of Earth, but this is Orth, and we're talking about Orth. Okay. Cool. So I don't have a lot of time before I need to leave for work. So what we're going to do is all this is very interesting. Let's see. So Highlander castles. What I want to do is I'm going to get a location. I think location is the best play for this. So we're going to do. Alright, so the wiki, for those of you who are new around here, and also welcome. The wiki I'm using is. This is the wiki, the Greyhawk Online wiki, the Great Library of Greyhawk. Very useful resource. That's this one, Greenkeep. Okay, so, which is part of this. So, Highlander Castles, let's go to main page. because here's what you do. Go here, and there is a list of stuff that they don't have a lot of info on that would be helpful if people did more on. Improvement drive. Yes, how to help. Wanted articles. So yes, we're making one right now. New article templates gives us, these nice, they have the formatting for the boxes and they have all the categories that you might need to try and help you structure articles and stuff. It's actually really great. I always use templates for stuff now that I know that this is a thing we can do. Location. So, organization, plane, realm, road. We might want to do Imperial Highlanders as a separate organization. I think that might work well, actually. The castles are. I don't know if that could work. Okay, let's go with location, the castles themselves, and 5 castles in the tower. That might be bet, and then do Imperial Highlanders as an organization. I think that's how we're going to play this. So what we're going to do, um, and I will make notes on this, so that we know for next time. But we're going to go with because Imperial. Okay, we're going to go with location, and I am going to, yeah, we're going to go with location, and where's the location one? Location. Here we go. This is how we're going to do it. Highlander castles. Historical ruins. I'm going to go with the Highlander castles, and then put the Imperial Highlanders as their own page. Yes, that's how we're going to do this. So, and Highlander castles can be really easy. So what we're going to do, um, Highlander, Highlander castles. We leave out the because that is how the Highlander castles. Let's see, Highlander. The reason I double check is because, yeah, this is why you check these things, because you can't, only someone with like super high level access like can go back and change titles. So generally, you want to make sure. Sorry, Highlander castles. Yes. Okay. All right. Location. Beautiful. So here's what we're gonna do. Name. Okay. Um, type. Region. North Kingdom. Um, um, Noble sites. We're gonna put, and then we're gonna link it. Ready? Um, mm-hmm. That should work. Resources ruler. Um, Baron. Baron General. What's his name? Shall. Shaw Lester. Shaw Lester. Okay, so we're doing this. And then we're going to actually put the H in his name. Remember how to spell. Okay. Alright, and we will, allies, enemies, denominator, races, numbers. Okay, organizations. Imperial Highlanders. We're going to put this here. And then, okay. So, okay. Alright. Cool. So we're going to go with, is a castles is not capitalized. This is, torrent. Um, Peer. Okay, you know what? Let's do that. Okay. I will take out all of the um, all of those. I'll leave a bunch of them, but that's I think. Nope. Nope. All right. Well. Okay. Um. Um. And then okay. All right. Yes. So okay. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do this. You ready? Province. I think. Um. That go? Nope. North Kingdom. Okay. You know what? We're gonna go. I know I need to leave like now, but I want to make sure this. Okay. Because this will link it to the. Um. Uh huh. There we go. Okay. Well, we will fix it later. I am. Um. Uh. At least everyone would be able to know it's a series of castles in North Kingdom. And then we will. Highlander Castles. And so next week, after Greyhawk Con, I know, after Gary Con, I will. After Gary Con, I will fix. This is what we're gonna do. After Gary Con, we're gonna do Highlander Castles. We're gonna do the Imperial Highlanders, and then I'm going to begin on. Then we're gonna do those, and then we're going to begin on East Fair, and we're gonna do a whole thing on East Fair, and that's gonna. It's gonna. And it's going to be done before Concoction, which is in New Jersey. I promise you that. But I have to leave for work right now, so I am going to. I'm going to raid. Thank you so much for coming. Take care of yourselves. I will leave. Peace out. Mwah.